Right, welcome back. It's a post-match pint after Rangers 0, Celtic 2 at Ibrox. This is take 3. You might have, a few hundred of you might have watched take 1. We had a brilliant post-match pint, half an hour long, with Scott and Ryan. We had audio problems with it, we had to take it down. So we're here, take 3, from the top, Scott, again. Apologies if we seem as if we're fed up talking about the game. It's just that we've talked through it twice now, and this is the third time. Right for kick-off, Scott. Odsonne Edouard punts it into the Rangers left back area, goes out for a throw-in, and you're thinking, that's a bit of a strange one. But looking back on it now, psychologically that was huge for us, because we were there to get on the front foot, to play in Rangers half, and it really set the tone for the first half, and we controlled the whole first half from that moment.
It was a strange one to see, and we've spoken about it before, because it's not the first time we saw it. Hearts do it, and every time Hearts do it, we kind of have a laugh to each other about kind of saying how pathetic it is. But look, it worked for us, because it was that psychological thing, and we were obviously carrying a bit of a hangover for the last 2 Ibrox games, and we had to start again differently. And do you know what? It was a strategy, it was a tactic. It worked. It worked for us, so fair play to Lenny for that. It set the pace. It set the pace for a game that turned into us winning all the first balls, second balls. We looked more up for it, and we got the result in the end. So no, it's good to see.
Definitely, we talked about it at length in the build-up to the game, in the preview shows, and even in the post-match pint after the IK game, about doing all of the right things in these games that we didn't do last season at Ibrox. Winning the 50-50s early on, getting on the front foot, controlling the game in midfield. We did all of that for the word go, and that was huge for us. As I say, we controlled the whole first half. Again, it's so important in these games when you get spells of pressure. Having played 2 games at Ibrox last season where we didn't get one concerted spell of pressure over the 2 games, to get a goal when you're on top, get a goal. We did eventually get the goal. Rangers give the ball away. Johnson intercepts the pass, drives forward, plays a lovely wee ball through for Odsonne Edouard, and ice in his veins. Lovely finish past Alan McGregor.
Johnson's done really well. He's held on to the ball for the exact amount of time, just waiting for Edouard's run. Edouard's run was inch perfect. You can see that the part just lined up with exactly where his foot was. It was inch perfect, so he's waited to the exact right moment. Johnson's played them in at the right moment, and it was never going to be any other result apart from a goal. Just mega cool finish. So that kind of set us up for the rest of the half. And the only time where I thought there was going to be a game on was after the second half started, and that's because they'd made a change. So when they made the change, I started to think this is going to become a game. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be a bit of competition going on here, and there was a 25-minute spell where I thought they could nick a goal. They didn't have any clear-cut chances, but look, it was brilliant to get the first goal. And as I said on Thursday night, if we get the first goal, I thought they would score, mind you, and I had both teams to score on my coupon, so I'm potless. But no, it was brilliant. The goal for Edouard just kind of carried us through.
Aye, absolutely. As I say, it's so important to score when you're on top. Rolls it past Alan McGregor, seething, brilliant. We love to see it. Things you love to see. Alan McGregor absolutely raging. As you say, coming into the second half, I thought we pressed him really, really well in the first half. We forced him into some errors, playing the ball at the park. I think we'd kind of dropped off with the pressure at the start of the second half, and you say they did come into it. But I think our defensive shape this week, that's something we've talked about a lot in the content so far this season, about giving up some half chances, being a wee bit slack in defensive transition and stuff like that. We've seen it so far. Haven't kept a lot of clean sheets. But I thought second half, what Rangers could create came from crosses and corners. They didn't cut us open. They didn't have any real clear-cut chances, and I thought defensively we were brilliant in the second half.
No, big time. I think they struggled creative-wise, and you could see that they had some half-decent build-up play with the string 3, 4, 5 passes together, and get round a few of your defenders, but there was never any clear-cut chances, as you say. And I think the reason for that is Steve Davis had to be at the centre of everything Rangers did. It had to go through him, and he wasn't really on form today. He'd kicked the ball at the park a few times, so that was good for us. He was way off the pace, and as we said, you've got to win the midfield battles. And Steve Davis didn't win a midfield battle today, so that's probably the main downfall for Rangers. In terms of chances, I think probably the best chance was the Defoe one, where it's not even a half chance. I think that's a chance. If El Hamid doesn't wrap his leg around him to get that cleared, it's a goal or it's almost a goal. So I would say
10 minutes into the game as well.
Exactly, that would have changed the entire game, and maybe McCoupton would have come up. But look, that was brilliant for El Hamid, and probably my man of the match for that challenge. But anyway,
I thought he was brilliant, particularly the defence. I thought they were all brilliant. I think so good for Bolingoli and Julian, who have had a fair bit of stick since they came in. I thought Julian was absolutely superb. Bolingoli probably his best game in a Celtic shirt since he arrived. I think because Rangers were so restricted in terms of creating things, it did, like I said, it got to crosses and corners. Corners were the only thing that you thought they could maybe threaten us from. Again, they didn't really have any clear-cut chances for that. Fraser Foster, his 100th clean sheet for Celtic's probably the easiest clean sheet he's ever earned. Didn't have a lot of saves to make, but I thought we dealt so. Julian, he headed everything away. Every long ball, every cross, every corner, I felt like he was there heading it away. He was nitting in front of people, he was winning his tackles. I just thought he was absolutely brilliant, and he looked every inch. £7 million today.
No, I'd agree with you 100%, Paul. Bolly, the best performance he's had in a Celtic shirt. Julian, best performance he's had in a Celtic shirt. El Hamid, best performance he's had in a Celtic shirt. Scott Brown, best performance he's had this year in a Celtic shirt. So I would say it looks like the team are gelling together, even though the back four is just getting chopped and changed all the time, injuries. So very, very good signs.
I think that was something that they touched on a lot in the build-up to the game. 3 debutants in the back four. Everybody was kind of unsure about us in defence. But as I say, everybody was brilliant. I thought Beaton, when he was on the park as well, he was matching Defoe's runs. He was putting blocks in. Okay, he went off and Bauer had to come on. We had to do a bit of a reshuffle. But I thought Beaton was excellent as well back there. And that's so good for those guys, because it'll do their confidence a world of good. Playing in a game like that, putting in a performance like that, getting a clean sheet and a comfortable win. Absolutely excellent. You touched on Scott Brown there. We've talked a lot about Scott Brown in the build up to these games. Off the back of last season, he did have 2 really poor performances at Ibrox, but we know how instrumental he can be when he brings a good performance, and you see it today. He's winning tackles early on, 10-15 minutes in. You see that. I think he won a challenge about 16th, 17th minute, and the camera cut to him, and he's snarling. He's like cheering, and he's all, and that's the Scott Brown that we want to see. That's the Scott Brown that we need in these games, and he's probably proved a lot of people wrong. A lot of people think that he shouldn't have been in the team today. I would think, and we know that he has to be there. He's a leader, but both, media people and some Celtic supporters, because he was brilliant today, and we really needed that.
It was massive. It was absolutely huge for us today, and as we spoke about in the build-up show, we know he's going to play, right? He's absolutely going to play, and he has to play, but he has to play the way that we know Scott Brown does and can play. So was vacant last year at Ibrox, but this year or today even, he's turned up and he's been brilliant, and he's been the Scott Brown that we all know and love. So that's what we need if we're going to carry through and win 9 in a row, because I think it's going to be huge for us. I know Ryan likes to talk about we need to limit his game time. I don't disagree with that at all, but the big games is where you need to use him, because he's a catalyst for everyone. As you're talking about, after he made that 50-50 and he's getting everybody up for it, that's massive. That's massive in a team. And we talk about leaders. Julian looks like he might start to become a leader. I just think it's tough when you join a football team. You don't really know anybody. You're a £7 million player. There's pressure on you. It's a new country, culture, a lot. It takes a while for you to settle in and start to feel like, right, I can start, do you know what I mean, commanding my back four. Yeah. So we're starting to see that now, and 2 men that have been written off, Bolly and Julian, are starting to properly prove that they're class. Definitely.
I think, touching on the defensive shape that we had today, I think it was the game plan for start to finish was as good as it gets. In an away derby game, it doesn't get much better, because, as I said, we'd done all the right things in the first opening 15-20 minutes of the game. We won the battles, we got up the park, we played in the front foot. But I think so important to how we played and how we defended today was the more creative players, Mikey Johnston, Ryan Christie, James Forrest to an extent. I know he came off, he didn't have his greatest game, but they were willing to do the dirty side of the game. I thought Mikey Johnston was excellent. I said before the game, he's owed a game at Ibrox in his natural position.
Yes.
After being so young and being played out of position, up front on his own and at right wing back last season. He was owed a game, given how well he's played this season, in his natural position, and I thought he was absolutely excellent today.
It was very good today. It was very, very good today. He's not a wing back, and that's where he was played at Ibrox before. So to throw a young boy into that position, you cannot judge him on that. But today, in his natural position, when we had the momentum in the game, that's when you're going to see the best of Mikey Johnson, and we did today. I think not only in the creation of the Edward goal, but doing the dirty stuff as well. You wouldn't mark Mikey Johnson down as somebody that you want to like have in a battle, or you don't want him. He's a player that you want to create things. You don't really want him to get in 50-50s. But today we saw that he's more than capable of that. More than capable of. His energy levels are massive, so he's chasing people down, packs of 2 or 3. He did a lot of dirty work. So did James Forrest when he was on. So did Ryan Christie, who usually does it, but they were superb. And that just shows that we can be versatile. We're not carrying any passengers. Sometimes your flair players are just passengers if it's a bit of a battle, and that didn't happen today. So again, good signs.
That was absolutely huge for us. As the game went on, obviously, I said they had a little bit of pressure with the corners and stuff, but you always felt there was a chance for us on the break. I think we even had a couple of half chances on the break that we didn't make the most of, but eventually more and more space as the game went on, and we eventually got the goal. Johnny Hayes running through, I think Incham when he came on, he really affected the game well. I think that was something Neil Lennon
he was good.
Done well today. He got obviously the plan was spot on for start to finish, but he got his substitutions right at the right time in the game. And Cham was brilliant. Hayes through on goal. McGregor saves the first one, and he, to be fair to him, he had a couple of good saves in the second half, McGregor, to keep Rangers in it. But then gets the rebound and pandemonium.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, Johnny Hayes coming on and getting a goal. Who would have wrote that?
No, aye.
Who would have wrote that? No, absolutely brilliant from him. He didn't look completely comfortable when he got through in goal, I thought. Do you know what I mean? I just thought like he couldn't believe he was through in goal. And it wasn't a great finish, quite an easy save. But he's done well to go and get the ball and put it in. And who was it played him through? Who was it played him through again?
I think it was Incham.
Cham played him through. Brilliant build-up play the whole game. Do you know what I like about Incham as well? He's so good at killing time and managing a game, because it doesn't matter how close or how tight you are to Incham, he'll roll you, no problem at all. He doesn't care how close you are to him. He's so good with the ball at his feet. So absolutely brilliant, and for it to come late on as well, scenes.
Sealed the game. I think it's so important for us psychologically getting into this international break to get the win. Obviously, we're 100%, 12 out of 12. We've got Hamilton when we come back, but that 2 weeks now, we're on a high. We've put Rangers in the back foot. We've got a 3-point lead already. A praise for Neil Lennon today and the backroom staff, because there was obviously a bit of insecurity after last season's performances at Ibrox, but I thought today we were brilliant. I thought we got it right for the word goal, and credit where it's due.
100%, mate. There's times where you can criticise, there's times where you've just got to celebrate, because people are going to make bad decisions, managers are going to make bad decisions, and in hindsight, again, I always like to play that card. In hindsight, sometimes you would bring Odsonne Edouard off earlier, or sometimes you wouldn't play Callum McGregor at left back. But when it's done right, you've got to give credit where it's due, and Neil Lennon has came out with a much better game plan than Steven Gerrard. It's worked, and we've got to enjoy it. We've got to enjoy it. He's got to get the credit. We've got to take the pressure off him now, because he's proven that he can do it in a big game. Absolutely, and
he's earned patience now. He's earned patience with that result today and the start of the domestic campaign. How would you? Sorry, I just want to touch on. I'm going to ask you, how would you mark the start to the season out of 10?
Right.
We've done that in the first one of the post-match pint. We'll give you Ryan's number as well, even though he's not here. I want to touch on the refereeing in the game. I thought Bobby Madden was very lenient. It worked to his favour though. The game never got out of control. He didn't book MD until Arfield tried to pull in Cham's pants down when he was running away from him. But at half time, Chris Boyd seemed to think that Callum McGregor's challenge on Arfield early in the game was a red card. It didn't have anything that constitutes a red card. There was no straight leg, no studs up, but he's crying out for a red card. And then Ryan Jack's 50-50 with ball and goalie, where Ryan Jack does go in, studs shown. Again, they went 50-50. I'm not going to say Ryan Jack should have been sent off, because I mean, booking, fair enough, but never ever a red card for Callum McGregor, but we did see a red card in the game, Scott. Jordan Jones spat the dummy out and injured himself in the process. Brilliant. Another thing you love to see.
So, going back to the Chris Boyd comments, and I'll say it again, there's only one thing more ridiculous than saying that was a red card, and that's taking whatever Chris Boyd says seriously, right? On to the next one, Jordan Jones, and Rangers fans are loving it. Some Rangers fans are absolutely loving that challenge, because brilliant.
Aye, staunch.
You've went right through a Celtic player, and you're playing for the badge, and as we say, if you want to rack up how many red cards you can get and how many hard tackles you can put on a Celtic player, we'll keep racking up titles.
Exactly.
So I think he's trying to prove a point. He's a new signing. He wants to show that he's a Rangers man and he's there to play for the club and showing frustration, and some people like that. Steven Gerrard didn't.
Well, we've got El Yunusi to come in. We've seen a debut for Bauer today. He had to come in at right back off the bench. I thought he'd done well. He's got the most incredible throw in I think I've ever seen. He was
long.
He was
crazy.
Throws for our half into the final third.
I know. It's absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. And nobody even expected it.
No.
Edouard was about 15 yards closer to him.
Yeah.
But if we know that we've got that in the locker, absolutely superb. So I don't know if he's going to be first choice. If we're going to, what do you think? What do you think about Bauer?
Well, it's early days. We only seen him for maybe 25 minutes today, but it's going to be. El Ahmed's done so well, and he was brilliant today. He does have that versatility where he can play at centre half. We might need him because we can see that we're slack. We don't have a lot of strength in the centre half area. With Jozo's injury problems, Ayer's obviously out just now, but we've only really got Jozo, Ayer, and Julian as first picks in there. So maybe El Ahmed can deputise. It's good to have that, though. It's good to have El Ahmed there, who we've seen come in and do really well. And then to have Bauer there as well. So it's good to have strength in that area. Hopefully it turns into that, and it is strength in that area, because it's something we've lacked for a while. Rank the start of the season out of 10 then. We'll give you Ryan's. Ryan, earlier on in the first video that we had to delete because of the audio problems, Ryan went with 7. Again, context, great result today, but just with the going out of the Champions League and the delays to actually getting deals done in the transfer window, which we're used to with Celtic now. But Ryan went with 7. Scott?
I'm going with 8.5, and I know it's terrible that we're not in the Champions League, because we should be in the Champions League, but at the end of the day, we had a bad half against Cluj, and I'm sick of talking about Cluj, right? We've got a chance for retribution against them in the group now. So we've been slow in getting signings in. When the window opened, it looked like it was going to be a brilliant transfer window. It tailed off. There was a quiet period, and now we're starting to get a few more bodies in. El Yunusi is a good signing. Yeah. Bauer will turn out to be a good signing, I think, and we'll probably get Greg Taylor over the line. I don't think we're then far away from where we want to be. If you had a list of this is what we need, we're maybe 1 or 2 players away from exactly where we need to be in an ideal scenario. We'll wait till it finishes to make a final comment, but I'm assuming it will turn out to be quite a good transfer window. We lost a lot of players, but in out, I think it could be a decent transfer window. So I'm going for 8.5. We've started the season brilliantly. We went and got a win at Ibrox that we couldn't do last year. I think that's a good start.
It's a great start domestically. There's no two ways about that, and there's nothing could take anything away for today. As I say, absolutely perfect away derby performance from start to finish. We executed a game plan to the T. And it's a great result. We were good value for 2-0 as well. I'm going to go 8 out of 10 as opposed to Scott's 8.5 and Ryan's 7. I think it is just that the bad game management in the Cluj game cost us. Who knows how we would have fared against Slavia Prague. I know they've ended up my group of death in the Champions League, but I just think we could have managed that better. I think, again, when it comes to the transfer window, we could have done the business earlier. That guys like Greg Taylor coming in, we could have went and signed him in July, no problem. I just think there needs to be a bit more better planning there, and it's fine. I think some I touched on in the first take that we done of this video was that so often nowadays it's almost like you can't hold a positive and a negative in your mind at the same time. On social media, everything's binary. You go into Twitter and it's a 1 or a 0. So the other night when I'm complaining that Edouard's still in the park at 74 minutes, I'm too negative because we've won 4-1 away from home and I'm still not happy. No, I was delighted. It was a great result, but I was just worried that Edouard, the main man, was left in the pitch too long and then he could have ended up injured. So it's absolutely fine to have conflicting thoughts about we've started the domestic season brilliantly, 12 points out of 12 in the league, a brilliant result today away at Ibrox, but then to balance that, when you're thinking about the context of the start of the season, to balance that with a disappointing result against Cluj, and we're not labouring Cluj, we're not talking about it all the time, but we're just stopping now because we've got an international break and we're just reflecting on the start of the season. So I'm going to 8 out of 10. We'll finish with your man of the match today. You said it was El Ahmed. It was El Ahmed for me. Sponsor man of the match was Julian, but it could have been It could have been just about anybody. I thought Edouard obviously terrific in front of goal. Johnson I've touched on, brilliant. The whole defence was brilliant. It could have been any of the back four.
It was an amazing team performance, and for your centre back to get man of the match, it just shows you that it wasn't a typical game where Celtic dominate and you've got James Forrest or Edouard or more often than not Ryan Christie picking up man of the match, because they've got a lot of the ball and they can create a lot, and it's all about breaking down a dense defence. Today it was more of a battle, bit of a scrappy game at times, and we came out on top. I'm going for El Ahmed because I thought he was solid and he had to come in at centre back, so we can see that he's versatile. And on top of that challenge that saved that goal for Defoe was game changing, I think.
Absolutely. El Ahmed's my man of the match as well. That's it for the post match pint. Apologies that it's a 2-man panel and not a 3-man panel. It's not the content we wanted to bring you. It's not the content that we made in the first take. We were in the usual spot. It was a half-an-hour video with 3 of us. We had a great discussion, but we were let down by the audio again. So apologies for that. Like the video, comment your own thoughts below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in a fortnight for the build-up to the Hamilton game. Thank you.